Hey, RetconRaider here. Today's video is dedicated to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible. With special thanks to Revenant, Anerdinwarpaint, Antonio Hernandez, Dragon Matrix 7, Exsellsior, Lima, Nathan Welch Jr., and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, let's get started. And welcome back to Solasta, Crown of the Magister. As our ill-advised quest has brought us to the doorstep of a temple to a long-lost and likely evil god. So more Lovecraft than Silent Hill at this point. Always a good situation to find yourself in. Regardless, we find ourselves faced with a puzzle. There are obvious symbols on the wall. We've got pressure plates. Let's see if we can figure this thing out. The War of the Gods. You noted this from the scriptures on the temple's wall. It seems to be the ancient story of Arevad's fall on Trimmier, before the Cataclysm. The Schism of Arevad. The primal gods formed a balanced ensemble when mankind rose on Trimmier. Arun was the first, Maraiki with him. Pakri and Arevad came into being and consolidated the quartet. Arun rose. He was higher than others, the first and mightiest. Then Arun stood aside, desiring above all balance between the gods. Pakri had been watching the whole time. She took a more central role to bring balance to mankind. The dark days came, and men prayed for a strong god to protect them against the Sora calf. Arevad ascended as the new leader of the gods. Interesting. Sortar corrupted Arevad, causing the schism. Arevad split into two entities. Einar was born, clean of all corruption. Arevad remained forever tainted. They were four no longer, but five. I really like the way they describe that, and tie it into the symbols, too. It's not just a story about the gods of Trimmier, but it's also like a step-by-step guide to how to move on the grid. Yeah, each one of these shapes is just one step different than the previous shape. So it's not so much finding the right combination of symbols. I think it's all the symbols in the order listed on the wall. This really just adds a mythos to those shapes. So let's see here. Yep, that's the same shapes in the same order as they were in the book. So theoretically, we didn't even need the book to solve this puzzle. Nice. Okay, so then sort of slanted rectangle. Like this? Yes. Then elongated triangle. Pakri moves to balance. Then someone ascends, Arevad. And then the new god splits off. Nice. I like that. That's a really fun little puzzle. Anyway, we are going up against a big bad, so let's get our guys topped off real quick. And maybe set up a couple of buffs. Not that 5th edition really leans towards stacking buffs. I mean, we've talked about that before, but it is an interesting balance decision. Well, if we're going into a tougher fight, I guess we really don't want to tie up Istvan's concentration. I'd like to keep that freed up for summoning an elemental. But of course we will get a max strength Ghost Globe going. That one's a no-brainer. Easily, hands down, one of the best spells in the game. And one of those things that makes me question just how well-balanced 5th edition is. I mean, look, every edition has problems, especially when it comes to magic. It's just so funny to see this one spell that is head and shoulders above all these other spells they have so painstakingly nerfed. Oh my, what am I looking at? I think we really have stumbled upon an Elder God. It is very much a Cthulhuoid entity, along with his Cthulhu spawn. Okay, so obviously these things are fire-based. We've got some subtle environmental clues. And we have a single chest, which obviously we want to get our hands on. Whoa, hey, what, really? That thing just spotted us from like 100 feet away. Well, I guess we are fighting. Let's just pour some poison on top of our crossbow. That's how it works. Ah, Remorazes, okay. You know, those things have been around since 1st edition, and I have never used them in an adventure. I'm actually surprised they're even still around. I never would have considered them one of the iconics of the D&D setting. I mean, what's next? The wolf in sheep's clothing? The flump? That thing's marked as a legendary, but it's not taking extra actions. Okay, I think these things must have heightened senses, because that is an absurdly huge detection range. There's no point in even trying to keep Sir in stealth. We'd have to keep him so far back he'd actually be out of crossbow range. We'll just tuck in close with Henrik. Might as well take advantage of the defensive bonuses of the sinister sphere of specters. Oh, hi. That is problematic. I guess I will hit you with magic. Actually, I will conjure up some magic that will hit you. Aha! Weren't expecting that, were you? Guys, we're gonna need you back over here, please. Quickly. Alright, Merton, buddy, I'm gonna need you to not die, if that is at all possible. In fact, why don't we just keep you back here? Nice. Though it does appear these things have fire shields. Not bad, Merton. The guy's very much a glass cannon. Alright, Henrik, we are going to need you back over here. I think that gets everyone. That's fine, buddy. Don't sweat it. Just let the ghosts do their work. And you know what? Given that these things are covered with fiery auras, we'll just have the rest of our guys hang back and pepper them with range attacks. Not bad. That is a lot of numbers. Goodness. Not much of a legendary, is it? Come on, you can do it. Or not. And where do you think you're going? Oh, immune to cold. That's interesting. I would have expected them to be vulnerable to cold damage. Where's the other one? I'm not seeing him on the field here. Oh, wait. Okay, I can... Yeah, he's tucked right underneath the big one. Interesting. Let's do this. Yowza. Well...
Well, I must say, you're the best team I've ever had.
Thanks.
Now, it's time to take your reward.
You're leaving?
I told you, this is it for me. Killing that Remeraz, climbing those stairs. I need to tell someone. I'll see you back at Caer Kiflin.
Mysterious.
Crazy, but a damn good ranger.
He's going back to that Bitterroot woman.
That's none of our business.
Indeed. That chest, on the other hand?
I agree, Istvan. It is important to have priorities. Well stated. And I guess you can just hang out there, Tornado. Thanks for coming. Precious Ring. This ring bears a shield-shaped signet. It may have magical properties. You think, with a value of 30,000 gold? Yeah, I'm gonna guess that might be magical. And I guess that's it. I will admit, I was hoping for much bigger, more impressive piles of loot. But to be fair, I suppose that fight wasn't nearly as difficult as I was expecting it to be either. Oh, here we go. Shard of Fire. Yet another unique or semi-unique crafting ingredient. This time, I believe, for the Dragon Blade and the Flame Dancer Leather, I think. So we'll have a gander at those once we're finished crafting our current project. Which we still have a ways to go on. Alright, let's get this ring ID'd. I see we've also hit level 10, so we will take care of that in a moment. Ring of the Lord Inquisitor. This ring belonged to Hieronymus Bash, Lord Inquisitor of the Church of Erevad, before his god betrayed humanity. When that happened, Hieronymus sealed his ring inside the temple before joining the cult of Anar. Legend has it that Hieronymus was the last man standing at the Battle of the Rift. Hieronymus Bash, huh? Sounds like the long-lost Ninja Turtle. +1 to all savings throws, +2 to AC. And then the ability to cast various crowd control spells, but very limited charges, so those definitely aren't game changers. The defensive bonuses, though, those are pretty notable. You know, I would love to give that to Yvreth. That would bump her up to a base 20 AC. 22 with Twin Blade Block. But we'd have to shuffle some gear. I am going to have to think about this. You know what? Given that we also have this level up hanging over us, let's hit the pause button real quick. I'll take a look at all our options, figure out exactly what I'm going to do, and we'll pick up here in just a moment so I can talk us through it. We'll be right back. And we are back. Full disclosure here, my original plan was to head straight from here to the lava forest, but apparently we can't actually travel in a straight line between those two locations. If we want to get to the lava forest, we have to circle all the way back around this mountain range, I guess, which means we're basically passing back by the Fortress of the Shield, an active teleporter. So I figure we might as well just head back to the tower and teleport back to Caer Kiflin. I've got some stuff I want to take care of there anyway. That said, I will see if we can get back to the lava forest by the end of the episode. I'd like to pick things up there next time. Given that we are now level 10, we should be able to double time it. I think most monsters should be avoiding us. You know what? I deserve that. That is what I get for throwing caution to the wind, just to trim a little time off our track. On the bright side, this is extra loot, and we are about to make some very expensive purchases.
If it doesn't kill you.
battle-forged veterans. I remember way back when, like 20 episodes ago, when I actually feared you guys. One sec, I'll be right with you.
Good.
Yeah, those guys aren't really having much luck there, are they?
Damn it.
See, that is a damage roll. That was cute. He tried to stop me. Don't stop me now. I will give these guys credit. They're doing more damage to us than those Remorazes did. Just goes to show how fickle fate can be. You can stack all the numbers you want, but in the end, it all hinges on the roll of the dice. And the dice can be cruel. Hey, there we go. Gotta love those 10 miss streaks. Reminds me of the olden days when I used to still run games. And you'd have those long stretches of combat where the dice rolls were just so terrible nothing was happening, but you still wanted to dress it up with narrative flair. You pivot on your heel, taking a vicious swipe at your foe, but he desperately lunges out of the way and leers as your blade goes wide. He utters a triumphant cackle as he steps in, plunging his blade towards your gut, but you drive the tip of his sword into the ground and avoid the blow. Countering his strike, you come in over his guard and try to bash him in the face with the hilt of your weapon, but he ducks backward, just barely evading it.
Once more.
He utters a cruel laugh, swinging at your overextended arm, but you leap backwards and avoid the blow. Trust me, it sounds fun at first, but once you're like 8 rounds into that, it starts to get old. Oh, hey! I don't think we've ever seen a random encounter that dropped magic items. Yeah, there's some pretty decent stuff here, not to mention the Oil of Acuteness. Obviously not a lot of use to us at this point. It only makes +1 weapons, but that's still some pretty solid sales fodder. Okay, so it's just the ring. Ah, a ring of all words, that makes sense. That's about as low end as it gets for magic items. And it is completely useless to us since Henrik can speak all languages, so we're certainly not going to waste an attunement slot on that. Still, that is not bad as far as trade fodder goes. I actually think I'm more excited about this find than I was about the loot we pulled from the Remoraz lair, which is kind of crazy. You know, again, I think we've talked about this in past videos, but as a game master, I always felt like it was my job to make loot, all loot, as appealing as possible, even if it really was just vendor trash. You know, you always wanted to at least make an effort to tempt players into keeping things, even if it was something that had no real functional value. There was nothing more boring to me when it came to treasure stashes than cracking open a chest and finding a neatly rounded pile of 3,000 gold pieces and 5 gems worth 20 gold pieces each, and a silver ring worth 10 gold pieces. You know, you wanted to dress it up. You had to make it feel like they had found real treasure. That's not just 3,000 gold pieces, it's a pile of mixed coinage, some of which comes from distant regions with odd mintings. A character with appropriate skills might identify a rare coin in there that collectors would pay 100 gold for. The 5 gemstones are a mismatched set of semi-precious stones, low value for material, but part of a matching set with a little story behind them. Pried out of an old family heirloom, maybe, making the players wonder if there's any chance they could ever track down whatever they used to be attached to. Sorry, I'm just rambling. Just trying to figure out how we're going to balance out all this gear with the severely limited number of attunement slots. Level up time. First things first, let's get that ring attuned. That bumps your breath up to 20 AC, but I think we're going to lose the Warden Blade. We'll get to that a little later. Your breath becomes our first and probably only character to top 100 hit points, which honestly is the biggest gain she gets here. Natural Explorer really doesn't matter. I don't think I've ever seen it really apply to any of our roles. But what the heck, let's go ahead and grab Swamp, I guess. She is a marsh halfling, so that does seem thematic. And I'm not really a fan of Hide in Plain Sight. I may have mentioned that before, but I just feel like it's too limited in usefulness to really apply much in this game. A 1-minute setup time for a stealth bonus that only applies under very specific circumstances is not a big get as a capstone ability. Henrik pulls a bunch of bonuses, more hit points, more spells, and a 10% chance to summon his deity, or call upon divine intervention at least, which I have never gotten to work, but I would love it if we could actually get that to proc at least once this campaign. He gets a new cantrip, and for some reason we have a duplicate Sacred Flame cantrip. Right, which is the cosmetic variant that's unique to Kickstarter backers. I guess they finally got that implemented. And you know what? Honestly, given that our only other options here are concentration cantrips that we would not be able to use while simultaneously running our Ghost Globe, I think we'll just grab the Vanity Sacred Flame, purely for the prestige. I'm pretty happy with his current spells, but I think we will pick up Death Ward. I've had my eye on that one for a while. And Sir gains hit points and nothing else. You get nothing! Good day, sir! To be fair, I think the Poison Blades is essentially his capstone ability. It's just weird that he gets that at level 9 instead of level 10. Odd pacing. And Istvan gets all sorts of stuff. More hit points, more spells, and Arcane Shock, which honestly, again, I'm not thrilled with as a capstone. I think I've actually talked about this one before. You essentially guarantee above average damage on a spell roll, but in exchange you're restrained and you have a chance of taking 2d6 psychic damage, which just feels like too much of a trade-off to really make it worth risking. Arcane Fury just feels like a much better ability all around. A lot more gain with basically no negative repercussions. But we do net a free Constitution proficiency, so I can't complain about that. He gets a new cantrip, and I've got to do it. We're taking Annoying Bee. Don't know if we'll ever use it, but we just have to have it. And then, as far as our real spells go, I'm actually really happy with our current level 5 spread. I don't think we need any others there. I have been pointed towards Contagion. I hear it's pretty good. I just can't bring myself to invest in a debuff spell. Not in a system where they have enemies who can just automatically pass saves if they feel like it. It's just a lot more efficient to kill them instead, so we're going to pass on that. And instead, I think what we're going to do is pick up Dimension Door and Ice Storm. Those are both spells I've had my eye on for a while, so I might as well grab them now. And now we just need to reset his spells. And much like Henrik, I'm pretty happy with our spread. But I do have a sneaking suspicion that fire-based spells might not be the best choice for a place called the Lava Forest. So let's go ahead and lose Flaming Sphere and Fireball. We'll use those slots to swap in the 2 new spells we just picked up. Ice Storm in particular should be handy here. And then I guess we'll use our last slot on... You know what? Let's pick up Thunderwave. I've always really wanted to use that spell, but we were just too fragile before. But now that we have a 22 AC, I feel like it's a lot safer to actually get some use out of that. I do like the idea of blasting some hapless foes into a bubbling stream of magma. And that's it. We are now max level. Congratulations, guys. XP is now useless, so we'll just have to invest in better loot. Speaking of which, let's get back to Caer Kiflin. We have several upgrades to make. I will say, this is all stuff I would normally consider bookkeeping, trading, buying new items, swapping gear around. But we are prepping for the endgame at this point, and these are such drastic upgrades that I figured at least a few folks would like to see them. And, you know, I figured it might be a bit too jarring if we just rolled up in episode 30 with like 6 new major magic items. Hey, lady addressed ya. Don't mind us. Now we can just teleport from here. Okay, first things first. Where are we? Ah, right. First things first. Let's go see if Merton has anything for us.
If you're looking for a sharp blade, I'm your man.
Right, nothing there. Now we need to go have a quick chat with our Arcaneum contact, Headland Surespell.
Clear skies, adventurers. Anything new for the Arcanian?
Yes, indeed.
Check this out.
Here you go.
Stay in the light.
Excellent. That did bump us up 1 rank, so we should now have access to primed longbows.
Clear skies,
Hush.
We do require your services.
1 primed longbow, please. That's a weird place to keep them, but I'll take one. So the main thing we can't get is primed plate and an assortment of high-end scrolls. Okay, I think we're done with you. Goodbye forever. Let's go check the boards. Two more days. But I want it now. And nothing on the mission board. To be fair, I suppose the Lost Temple quest didn't actually promise a reward. Let's hit the pause button real quick. We're getting into the more mundane bookkeeping, just clearing out gear and rearranging inventory. Be right back. And we are back once more. A few £100 lighter and a few thousand gold richer. Let's go spend it.
Clear skies, my...
Silence!
We do
You too. One belt of giant might, please. Oh, so lovely. Oh, and we need slippers of spider climbing. Out of stock? Come on, man. My plans. I had plans. Gosh darn it. Alright, let's see. Is there anything else we can pick up here? Because sadly, we do not have enough for a training manual. I guess we are pretty close. The discount we get for being a living legend with the antiquarians does give us a fairly substantial discount. No. You know what? I think we're fine. We're already steamrolling most of the encounters we run into, legendaries included. So, you know what? I might still pick up some training manuals later down the line, but we'll save that for after the lava forest. Let's get that new belt equipped. We'll toss the old one over to Istvan. Though, Henrik could theoretically get better use out of it. But he also already has 3 high-value items slotted. And I'm not sure I'd want to get rid of any of these. And Sir would gain no discernible benefit, because his attacks are dex-based. No, that's fine. We'll give it to Istvan. He does occasionally bonk things with his magic staff. I guess that does technically make the Gauntlets of Ogre Might sales fodder. But I'll have to think on that a bit. I don't want to sell that prematurely. Boop. And boop. And I think we are done. Actually, no, there is one more pit stop I want to make. We need acid to craft more corrosive bolts. It is so tempting to go back for another training manual. But I am resisting. Onward, my friends. Oh, you know what? There is one more stop we have to make. We need to swing by the Manacon ruins, which will also put us about halfway to the lava forest, so 2 dire birds with 1 vorpal stone. Ooh, almost. Fantastic. We will immediately lob that over to Yvreth. Class up our arsenal a bit. Farewell, Warden Blade. You have served us well. And we're still rocking a respectable 20 AC, 22 with Twin Blade Block. And now... well, I was going to start crafting the Stormbow next, but we don't actually have the recipe yet. That is what we're going to pick up now. So maybe we'll do this instead. I mean, I guess we could also do the Dragon Blade. Which, to be fair, is a pretty powerful sword, but also of questionable use, given that we are headed to an awful lot of volcanic locations lately. Nah, I think we've got to give it to the leather. Besides, Sir's the odd man out now, with Yvreth's defense boost. He has our lowest AC. There we go. This should just take a moment. I am still so bummed we couldn't get an extra set of slippers for Yvreth. That's the one thing that did not go to plan here.
Strike true, friends.
Hi, I would like one Stormbow schematic, please. Though we might as well take a look at what else you've got. Huh. Lightbringer Longbow. A bit late now since I've already used all our Stardust, but I might have actually tweaked my plans if I'd realized she had that. But that's fine. I believe the Stormbow is actually slightly more powerful. It's just a lot harder to craft. It would be nice to get an upgrade for Henrik. Nah, we'll just get him set up with +2 plate mail instead. Thank you. We do still need Mithril. I'm not actually sure where that is. And now we will head for the Lava Forest. As aforementioned, I would like to have us set up and ready to go there for next time. It's a bit of a ways out there, but we're level 10 now, so it should be pretty safe. Lava Forest. This place is a typical Badlands area, where the greenest nature neighbors rivers of lava and sulfur pits. Sounds delightful. My old tabletop character, Sulphurous Bile Tongue, would feel right at home. I am keeping my fingers crossed that we'll actually be able to finish that leather before we get there. Nice, nice. I wouldn't mind getting 1 or 2 encounters. I just don't want us to get bogged down. At this point, we just don't need the XP, so unless they drop something really nice, it's literally a waste of time. Nah, I think we're good on bolts. I do find it interesting, though, that there are so few potion recipes in Solasta. I could have sworn that during some stage of the beta, there were recipes for other types of potions, giant strength and climbing and flying and such. But for whatever reason, none of those made it into the final build. That does seem odd to me. Same with the spell scroll recipes, honestly. Those are still in the game, but they're all locked behind the faction traders. The only recipes you really tend to find with any regularity are poison recipes and magic item recipes. Oh, and there's our token encounter, Zealots and Pilgrims. That's not going to net us much in the way of loot, but we might get some decent crafting ingredients.
Try again.
Not great. How about this? Not bad. I imagine it would be more impressive if I had Arcane Fury running. Ghost Globe is up. Right. Resistant to piercing. I really should have noticed that sooner.
You have them now.
That's why. Only resistant to non-magical piercing. So once again, our lack of magical crossbows really comes back to bite us. Poor sir. Ooh, now that was slightly more impressive. Hi, could you, die, please?
Once more, we prevail.
Thank you. Shake it off, sir. It was only like 20 feet. Just as in real life, falling off a 2-story building will just leave minor bruises. You're fine.
Nice move.
And we are done. In the immortal words of Sir Dialot, as per 5 seconds ago, not too bad. As I feared, loot was pretty much non-existent, so aside from getting to flex a little, that didn't really get us much. Oh, lovely. Just in time for us to actually get some serious use out of that thing. I guess we can get started on the Stormbow, but obviously there's 0 chance we'll finish it before we actually arrive. Yeah, I guess that's fine. I will admit, a part of me wanted to keep our options open, just in case I decided to go for the Stormblade instead. But Henrik's fine. His offense is actually better than anyone else in the parties, even without a sword. The Ghost Globe devours all. And we are here. Oh, and just in time, too, according to my timer. We are just coming up on the hour mark. On the one hand, I feel like this was a slower episode. I feel like we didn't do a whole lot, but on the other hand, we killed the Remoraz, we wrapped up Merton's side quest, we collected a lot of major upgrades for most of our party members. So, I mean, I guess we did accomplish a fair amount. Not to mention, of course, we're set up to actually dig into the lava forest next time round. Well, at the very least, I can guarantee that all the episodes from here on out should be quest stuff. There's really not much need for grinding or loot wrangling from here on out. I think we're actually getting pretty close to the final stretch. Anyway, we will hit the pause button for now, and we'll pick up here next time as we delve into the lava forest and draw ever closer to the inevitable endgame. See you then. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Solasta, Crown of the Magister, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, the official social media feeds, or the official store pages. And if you'd like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things, or maybe even check out the Patreon. Links are in the description.
That's none of our business.